Olympic Games in 2010 are awarded to the city of Singapore.
The Youth Olympic Games to you has been quite a good success. But like you said, you were reflecting, and so looking back, maybe what 2 or 3 things would you have done differently on hindsight?
I wish we had more time. I think if we had more time, we could have. Actually, I'm not so sure. If we had more time, I guess, could we have done anything better? I think we may have.
Or just differently?
Differently. I'm hard pressed to name one major thing which I would do differently. Do you have any of you have suggestions? I'm never going to do a Youth Olympic Games again anyway. But I suppose there'll be lessons in general for other projects. What do you think we could have? What do you think we should have done differently? I suppose publicity beforehand, engaging both local media and international media, which I forgot to mention. I think that was something which was a concern. So I asked the IOC exactly how many people signed contracts with you to carry the footage. Because all the footage belongs to the Olympic Broadcasting Services. So they told me, I think it's 180 broadcasters. And even if you look in terms of live coverage, you include places, China certainly carried it live, many other places in Asia. That immediately gives, in terms of potential eyeballs, you crack 1 or 2 billion straight away. I think initially the international media didn't know what to make of it. But slowly, images of our opening ceremony started leaking out. And then, of course, when the performances of the athletes, and remember, I think there were 13 or 16 junior world records that were broken. That spawned its own reporting in the respective countries. And the other interesting thing from a media perspective is, if you look at the YouTube channels, there were actually 2 YouTube channels, one that was run directly by us and one run by Olympic Broadcasting Services. You add up the direct page uploads, that means people actually view the videos uploads. For these 2, as of yesterday, it was in excess of 5 million page uploads. You have to go now and check what the latest figure is. But just to give you an idea of scale, that is double what the Vancouver Winter Olympics had. If you look at our Facebook pages, Facebook's now in the news for other reasons. But the number of fans on the Singapore 2010 Facebook page as of yesterday was something like 72,900. There was another site which MCYS has been supporting, which last I checked, Richard had about 45,000 fans. Now, of course, there may be some overlap. But I think the IOC will sit up and notice that these are the first games which have truly made an impact as far as dissemination and engagement through new media. Another interesting factoid, Twitter, hashtag YOG for Singapore. I think YOG was trending on several days. Now, for those of you who are in this business, trending means you have to be in the top 10. You have to be top 10 globally. Now, if you realize how small the population of Singapore is, and even how much smaller the population of Twitter users in Singapore is, to be able to trend for several days is a huge achievement. So, whether you like it or don't like it, the fact is people were talking about it and disseminating it. Then the other thing is, I monitored Twitter myself. just to get an idea of how much of it was negative and how much of it was positive. And the truth is, and I think maybe you all should go do your own research, the overwhelming proportion was positive. So I think we broke new ground also in our use of new media and using new media to disseminate the videos, the images, and opportunities for people to engage, discuss, support, or to make comments. Even from a management perspective, another interesting thing which I discovered was because I was monitoring the social media sites, even from a management side, the combination of being on the ground and monitoring that gave me sometimes, I knew things in way ahead of my own ops center what was actually happening because people were already tweeting about it or I saw it from Excel. So I think there's some interesting lessons in management for using new tools in a new media age. Anyway, I think these are things which we will have to analyze in the future. So, coming back to your point of what I've done differently, I think we should have engaged earlier and more deeply with the media and the people. But I must say, frankly, the local media has been very helpful. You've all done more than your fair share to carry and to enthuse and to excite. And I think you all know me well enough to know that I never ordered any one of you. I never told you what to write or how to write your stories. I hope, and actually I'm fairly sure that the stories you filed reflect your own honestly held views. So, but then that's one thing which I would have done differently. Well, we're clearly not going to be bidding for any multi-sport international event until after the stadium is ready. So that has, even the SEA Games and all that will have to wait until after 2014. But just as a result of the YOG, I think several international federations are looking, say for instance, Marina Reservoir. I think whether they can hold the World Championships there. I think everyone's now going back to study, and we would also look. I think at single sport events it may be possible. At world level, it may be possible. So we'll. But first, we need a break and to relax for a while, and then we will reassess the situation. So I would say we are still open. The other point I think that we all should bear in mind is the floating platform. I still want to see a great football match played there to a full house on a floating platform. We will have to look for an appropriate occasion and game to do that. So that was meant to be our backup facility given the absence of the national stadium. So I think we can still hold some interesting things there.